Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today on the Education USA Virtual Week and Roadshow Day 1, and where we discuss arts and humanities study opportunities in the US. My name is Ati, and I am the Education USA Malaysia coordinator, and I have with me today to do this presentation and meet all of you, May, our Education USA advisor, also in Malaysia. So for Malaysians who are tuning in this afternoon, if you have any questions regarding study opportunity in the USA, just let us know. We're always available for you on social media as well as emails and website. So for those who don't know, Education USA is a US Department of State network of over 430 international students advising center in over 175 countries and territories. So the network promotes US higher education to students around the world by offering accurate, comprehensive, and current information about opportunities to study at accredited universities and institutions in the United States. So Education USA is your official source on US higher education. And in conjunction with International Education Week, Education USA is organizing this special week-long event where prospective students will have an opportunity to learn about studying in the United States from Education USA advisors, as well as US higher education representatives. Each day, we will highlight a certain type of institution or program, and we'll feature both theme sessions and a short video, like bringing you for like a virtual tour showcasing several US colleges and universities. So today we will be talking about arts and humanities. I will share my screen. Hold on. Yeah. Okay, I hope everyone can see my screen now. So today we will talk about arts and humanities. What is arts and humanities? Liberal arts education, type of liberal arts education, liberal arts college versus universities, and why should you attend a liberal arts college? So we will end the session with a 10-minute Q&A session. And we hope that today with this presentation will help you in, making the decision, like informed decision about your education in the United States. So let's start. What is arts and humanities? So arts and humanities are considered two of the oldest fields of knowledge in mankind. Rooted in classical university tradition, arts and humanities degrees examine the role that human beings play in the development of the world. These majors look at the ways that art and culture have influenced history and how does decision affect the way we deal with other people in our everyday lives. And through though the degrees may not offer as clear-cut a career path as sciences, the wide-ranging and transferable skills one gains through these majors equip many graduates with more than enough to succeed in the professional world. So the US is also home to some of the finest arts and humanities schools in the world, such as Harvard, Yale, Stanford, and of course, we're going to talk about the liberal arts colleges after this. Okay, next we'll talk about liberal arts. So liberal arts education is the traditional academic program in Western higher education. Liberal arts generally covers three areas: sciences, arts, and humanities. Essential academic disciplines include philosophy, linguistics, literature, history, political science, sociology, psychology. You get it. And then today there are far more disciplines that fall under the liberal arts curriculum, including social sciences like history, anthropology, economics, natural sciences, math, and many more. While practiced in various ways, liberal arts education is embedded in all types of US higher education institutions, from small liberal arts college to big public research institution. So liberal arts education is at the core of US higher education, and it is one of the factors that make the US distinct from other countries. Through liberal arts education, students don't just narrowly study their chosen specialization, they get to explore various fields and engage in conversations with students from various majors. So, for example, engineering major students taking a class in philosophy, or maybe business major students taking art classes. That is the kind of unique combination you can get with US higher education. And the point of this education is to equip students to be well-rounded and to be able to work in collaboration with experts from various fields. Having said that, the liberal arts and sciences major is not just another term for undecided. On the contrary, declaring this major takes a lot of initiative and determination. If you are truly passionate about learning and want to spend your college years exploring new ideas rather than just preparing for a specific career, you might consider majoring in liberal arts and sciences. This type of education is key for 21st century. The world is fast changing and unpredictable, and many of the jobs we know of may disappear in the next decade. We need students to know how to adapt to these changes and quickly find innovative solutions in complex situations. Liberal arts education, providing such a broad base for education and allows conversation with various types of experts, allowing students to become critical thinkers who can actively find solutions while equipped with 21st century skills. So I can see a few people raising their hand. We will have a Q&A session towards the end of this session. So we'll address your question at the end. So now let's talk about what is liberal arts college. So a liberal arts college back then is a place of higher learning that maintains focus on these classical themes and objectives. So their goal is not necessarily to train students for a career, though that may happen, but to challenge their beliefs, make them critical thinkers, and poise them to become global citizens. And there are lots of other things that liberal art colleges tend to have in common. First, number one is their size. They're usually small. While at large universities, it's not hard to find lecture halls filled with hundreds of students. So the classes at liberal arts colleges usually have around 15 to 30 students. And faculty tends to be more accessible at liberal arts colleges. There are few or no teaching assistants, so which makes it easier to get personal attention from professors. There's also an emphasis on undergraduate education at liberal arts schools, whereas big universities may offer a lot of graduate, PhD, and professional program, as well as house extensive research effort. So next May, we'll talk about the differences between a liberal arts college and a university. So you will have a clearer picture of the two types of institutions. So she will talk about why you should attend a liberal arts college. And we hope that this can help you in finding your best fit in the US, whether you're more likely to gain from an experience in liberal arts college or a full-fledged university. Okay, over to you, May.
All right, thank you so much, AT. So hi, everyone, welcome to the session. Now that AT has covered all of the basics about liberal arts colleges, now comes the question of whether are you considering a liberal arts college or a four-year university. So students may encounter these questions in their college admissions and application process, and some of them may be stumped on how to answer, especially if they're not sure what the differences are. So next, I'll just cover briefly the differences between liberal arts college and also four-year universities. So here are some of the things that you can expect when you go to a liberal arts college. So there'll be more of a focus on a well-rounded education. Typically, the enrollment size is pretty small. There's an emphasis on undergraduate education. There are more classroom discussions, and typically there are few or no teaching assistants. And then also small class sizes, there are less competition to attain leadership positions, and also more attention with the faculty. Whereas on the other hand, if you go to a four-year university, there will be more focus on research. So typically, they have a large enrollment size. Universities often offer graduate level studies, PhDs, and also professional education courses. And then typically, especially the introductory classes are usually large lecture style classes that uses a lot of teaching assistants most of the time. Classes are big, and then most of them have national name recognition. Also, universities tend to focus a lot on their athletics. So next, just really briefly, one of the main difference between liberal arts college majors and university majors is that liberal arts schools generally offer one expansive area of study, whereas at universities, the same major may be broken down into two or more degree tracks. So for example, say someone at University of Pennsylvania majoring in engineering has two options. Now, he or she can either major in engineering through the Bachelor of Science program or do a dual degree in engineering through the Bachelor of Science and Bachelor of Arts program. Dual degree program would involve the study of engineering through the School of Engineering and Applied Sciences and also the School of Arts and Sciences, which would include different course focus. So the School of Engineering and Applied Sciences geared more towards research, whereas the School of Arts and Sciences more towards theory and principle. So this is a good example of how universities cover more specific topics related to a major. Now, on the other hand, at a liberal arts college, say, for example, Amherst College, which does not offer an engineering major, students can still become engineers through different majors related to the study, like, for example, sciences, mathematics, statistics, or even doing graduate school after they finish their studies at Amherst College. So when it comes to liberal arts and engineering, students have an expansive range of what they can study. They can major in mathematics and still end up in an engineering career. This does not mean that liberal arts colleges have lesser developed classes or curriculum in these areas. It just means that they offer broader areas of study, sometimes incorporating different aspects that students don't gain from more focused classes. So I'll talk a little bit about the admission process now. While the application process might not be different from each other, there may be some differences in what students are applying for. So for example, a liberal arts college student may just be admitted to the college itself, while a university student may be admitted to a specific school within the university. Also, because universities may have branch campuses, a student may have to apply to a specific branch. So for example, Penn State Altoona versus Penn State University Park. So the bottom line here is that there are a lot of things to consider when choosing liberal arts college versus university or vice versa. So you have to ask yourself, what type of experiences, learning styles, facilities are you looking for in an institution? Our next topic might help you out in figuring this. Okay, so now I'll talk briefly about why you should study at a liberal arts college. So, like I've mentioned, there's an undergraduate focus. The majority of liberal arts colleges only have undergraduate programs, whereas larger universities, such as research universities, will spend a lot of their time and energy on research, and most of them would be reserved for graduate students. Whereas at liberal arts college, the focus is on teaching their undergraduate students. So everything that happens on campus revolves around the student experience, whether it is inside or outside the classroom. Then next we have financial aid. So the majority of liberal arts colleges are private institutions with higher stick-up prices than public universities. However, many of these colleges offer very generous financial aid, which means a lower net price. The financial aid officers are able to offer scholarships based on merit, talent, or need. So students often find that they have to pay about the same or possibly less out of pocket to attend a private college than, say, a public university. Next, there's the campus community. So at liberal arts colleges, there seems to be a lot of camaraderie, especially during the freshman year. This is because of the smaller student populations. Students have the opportunity to meet one another, and then these colleges usually have are usually close-knit, and the students spend a lot of time together, which then can make it feel more like home. Student activities. So in terms of student activities, liberal arts colleges usually have fewer types of student organization and activities as compared to larger universities. But participation tends to be higher. So there are more opportunities for leadership positions because there are fewer students. So the smaller community found at these colleges allows students to participate in student organizations, which they are not necessarily majoring in. For example, a non-journalism major may be able to write for the student newspaper, whereas at larger universities, the student newspaper, for example, or theatrical productions or campus radio stations are usually reserved for the students studying in those fields. Next, we have access to professors. So classes, including introductory courses, are taught by professors at liberal arts colleges. Whereas at larger universities, many of these introductory courses are taught by teaching assistants who are typically graduate students with very little teaching experience. So since classes at liberal arts schools tend to be smaller, professors generally have the opportunity to spend more time with the students, getting to know them, evaluating and critiquing their work much more closely, and also serving as mentors for these students. So the average class sizes are usually less than 30 students at a liberal arts college. So this will give students the opportunity to participate in class and also get to know their classmates and professors. Students are not just a face in the crowd in their classes. So if you like small classes, a liberal arts college might be the right size fit for you. Also, a smaller class also allows professor to notice when students are struggling in a class, and then they can reach out to the students before it's too late in the semester. So next we have critical thinking. Many of the courses at larger universities, especially the introductory courses, have a lot of students, like maybe hundreds of them. So these classes are usually lecture style where the information is told to the students. However, at liberal arts college, classes are usually smaller and include classroom discussions almost on a daily basis. Students have the opportunity to hear different perspectives and communicate their thoughts and ideas and also think critically. So this will create a more of a well-rounded education for students. Liberal arts colleges allow students to take classes in many disciplines. By definition, these colleges provide students with an overview of the arts, humanities, mathematics, natural sciences, and also social sciences. A liberal arts degree is generally meant to prepare students for a variety of different career paths versus a specific career path. So in addition, these colleges tend to give students more freedom with their studies. students can sometimes create their own programs that meet their individual interests. Liberal arts colleges are also a great preparation for graduate school. So liberal arts colleges, they focus on class participation, writing papers, and thinking critically, a lot of which are very important at the graduate level. In addition, students at these small colleges often have much more opportunity to participate in research activities as an undergraduate student than those at research universities, because usually larger universities reserve research opportunities for graduate students. And then lastly, employers value a liberal arts education. So liberal arts students spend a lot of time communicating verbally and in writing. The students at larger colleges don't always have this same experience, of course, depending on their major and classes. But the intimate nature of most liberal arts education prepares future employees for all areas of a career. Students will have analytical, communication, and team working skills that they will need to succeed. Companies are hiring more liberal arts majors more frequently because of these skills that they possess. I mean, keep in mind, not all liberal arts colleges are exactly the same, but in general, this will give you a good idea of why many students choose to study at a liberal arts college as opposed to a university. So that will be all from me. We can open up the floor for questions.
I don't see any questions on the chat box, but I also want to add in that to get deeper understanding on liberal arts college, stay tuned for our first session after this with Dr. Anna Weiss from Hamilton College. So she'll be talking about the US as a destination for liberal arts studies and its benefit. Oh, okay. I'm seeing. Okay, we have one question. Does the freedom to take classes that don't have any relation with our major only available exclusively on liberal arts college, or some university allow you to do so? So correct me if I'm wrong, May, but you can take any classes in your first and second year in the university as well, but you will have to declare your major by the end of your second year. So that freedom is also available in universities as well. But keep in mind, if you want to declare your major in a specific major, they might have prerequisite, and you have to take those classes prior to declaring your major. Yeah.
Yep, nailed it, AT.
Okay, feel free to ask us anything. We will try our best to help you. And okay, maybe you want to take the second question, May. Is it really related to what we choose in senior high school? I mean, the subjects, are they, do they have to be related with what we choose in senior high school, like STEM and GAS? I don't think so. But May, do you want to explain more on that?
Yeah, no, not necessarily. I mean, you can choose to do it if you want, but really it's up to you. What are your passions? What are you interested in studying? Um, keep in mind, even if you choose a major that is related to STEM, for example, you are still able to take classes outside of the field. And so, yeah, it's really up to you, I would say. It's very much your choice. You have that flexibility of deciding what you want to do, or if you want to mix and match. So that's one of the great things about liberal arts college, just like I mentioned earlier, is that you can form your own curriculum.
Okay, I see, and I'm just going to combine the last two questions. What's the admission process like in liberal arts college, and is the student required to take SAT, ACT as an admission requirement? So, well, application process for liberal arts college might not be different from each other, but bear in mind that the US higher education system is decentralized, so you may want to look into a specific website for these schools to check if they have any extra requirements, or you have to prepare extra essay. Just so you have to check each school's website to know more, but usually it's pretty much the same. And students SAT and ACT also depends on what school you want to apply to. And also due to COVID, I think there are certain schools that have waived their SAT, ACT requirements. So you might want to check their website for latest requirements for admission. May you want to take Peach's question? So she planned to be on the pre-med track. What would be better for my undergrad? Liberal arts college, public research universities, or private university?
So, I mean, to answer this question, all of them, you can choose either one to go into pre-med track. I guess the better question would be, how do you define better? What do you want in terms of experiences? Because all these different types of universities and institutions offer different kinds of experiences. So really, it's up to you. I would suggest think about what kind of experiences you want to have and compare these different types of institutions, and then see which one you would prefer more.
I would suggest to get in touch with your EducationUSA advisor. Yes. Will be able to assist you to narrow down your college search, because we know it can be quite overwhelming. Mm-hmm. So just now I was saying that after this, we have a session with Dr. Anna Weiss from Hamilton College, and also from another session will be Vivian Lam from Savannah College of Arts and Design. So if you're interested to study in liberal arts college and also to study in art school, do stay tuned to our 2 sessions after this. And after that, we have a virtual tour to Arts and Humanities School in the US. Okay, do we have more any time left? We have 2 minutes left. Any last minute question? Just, if you don't have the questions now, but you might have it later, just contact your EducationUSA advisors. We have advisors in almost all countries. So. Okay, thank you, Paige. Thank you for the question. Is there any special chances for international students? Define special chance. If you're talking about financial aids or like, allocation for international students, please know that US higher education institutions value international students. They want you to go to study in the US, and because US is the #1 destination for international students, and they all we always value that. We always value bringing other culture and other ambassadors from other countries. So if you're talking about financial aid, yes, I mean, most schools offer financial aid and scholarship to international students. Yes, Vinny, thank you so much. Okay, I'm going to quickly answer Clarence's question. Is it safe to study in the US in 2021? Yeah, well, COVID has impacted everywhere in the world, and please know that US higher education institutions are trying their best to deal with the situation. They are spending money to better equip their campus, so you might want to check their website to know what is their COVID response and COVID preparation and all that. Yeah, but please know that they are doing everything they can to contain and control the situation. And yeah, but COVID is everywhere, and we are also not sure when it's going to stop. So yeah. Okay, I think we are at, actually 1 minute overdue. So thank you so much. So happy to see all of you joining us today, and hope you enjoy the next session and the virtual tour. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you, everyone. Bye.